Shante, welcome to our channel.
Shante, welcome to our channel. I hope you guys enjoyed our video of our visit to the pet cafe in Bangalore, or is it in another city? I'm not too sure. Prati will tell us. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the compilation of small videos. And if you guys want more like videos of animals and stuff, just let us know in the comments, and we'll definitely post some more. So today we're going to be talking about this concept called the Mandela Effect. So
Yeah, so
Prati, would
it's
you like to
based
say
upon
more?
the fact that a lot of people misremember things the same way, like the same thing the same way. So it's like a mass misremembering in a way, and it's called
Yeah,
Mandela Effect because for quite some period of time, even when Mandela was alive, a lot of people, like a lot all over the world, a lot of people thought he was dead when he wasn't. But it was like a very weird coincidence, and that's why they named it the Mandela Effect. I will start us off with the video. So let's see how many you and I can find out, and you guys can play along with us as well to see how many Mandela
okay.
effects we can get correctly.
So it's a game, is it?
It's a phenomenon, but I'll show you. But we can try to guess.
Yes, science!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top
Can
50
you hear it?
examples of the Mandela Effect.
You must
Yeah, I can.
be the Monopoly guy.
For this list, we're taking a deep dive into the strangest instances of collective false memories, otherwise
False
known
memories.
as the
That
Mandela
was what I
Effect.
was looking
These
for.
examples are derived from movies, TV
Call it
shows,
mass
sports,
something, mass
history, and basically
misremembrance.
everything in between. Which of these Mandela effects did you fall for? Let us know in the comments. Number 50. Tom Cruise wearing sunglasses. Risky business. If somebody were to
I
wear
don't
underwear,
know.
a white shirt, and sunglasses while dancing to Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger, what movie do you think they were referencing? Risky business, obviously. And if you look at the numerous parodies of this scene, that's what you'll see.
No, you get out.
Well, I
get
thought
out.
it could be fun.
No.
He said no.
However, viewers may be surprised when they revisit the original scene, as not only is Tom Cruise's character not wearing sunglasses at all, but his shirt is practically pink. Granted, his character does wear sunglasses everywhere in the movie, but you'd think the shirt color would stick out in our collective memories.
I haven't watched this movie, so
Yeah, I
Number
can't
49, Target's ring count. Target has a very
okay, this we can
distinct
guess.
brand for being an all-in-one store.
How many rings do you think it has? The logo of Target?
Target. One?
No, I think it has around. It's like the Target dartboard. I think it has around 2 red circles and the center dot.
Their
Yes.
logo is fairly memorable
That's one, you
too,
got
with
it
their red and
correct.
white color scheme featuring prominently in advertising campaigns. Still, as famous as its logo is, it misses the mark for some people. Target has a red dot with a single red ring around it. However, some people remember the logo having multiple rings.
So many rings!
And while the logo did have multiple rings in the 1960s, folks recall the logo being different much more recently.
This is how I
Which
thought it
begs the
was.
question, is this a false memory or a bullseye recollection?
Nice. Bullseye.
Number 48, Tiananmen Square Tank Man. The Tiananmen Square protests and
Okay, I
massacre
don't know
are
what
among
that is. So
Hey!
I don't think I know this
but
either.
many find them.
Skylar, I am the danger.
Jesse Pinkman's famous phrase, "Yeah, science," logo. Theories regarding the events that day. One of the most bizarre involves the number of people present in the vehicle it occurred in.
Needle, Starbucks.
Or so you would think. Despite the millions of cups likely sold since the start of this video,
Okay,
some
so
Starbucks
how do you think
patrons
the Starbucks logo is? I think it's like this woman with hair and a circle. But what is the exact question they ask?
Isn't it like the woman who's in New York?
Starbucks is the biggest name in coffee. Yeah, there's Dunkin' Donuts and Tim
What's her
Hortons
name?
out there, but
The one with
Starbucks
the
is the global brand
she's
everyone
holding the
knows.
Statue of
Seattle,
Liberty, I
Space
think.
Needle, Starbucks.
Oh,
Or so you
yeah.
would think. Despite the millions of cups likely sold since the start of this video, some Starbucks patrons are surprised about something on its famous logo, the star above the mythological siren's head. Many customers remember the logo having only a crown with no star above it.
Oh yeah,
Well, the
I never
siren did
noticed a
indeed lack a
star.
star at one point, but that was before its iconic green look. If anyone does decide to devote themselves to this potential mystery, they'll definitely need a lot of caffeine. We're just saying.
Hey, Lois, I didn't flush. I want you to come see it. Looks like the
Yeah.
Starbucks mermaid.
Number 43. Saw. Saw is known for its intense torture-based horror. And at the center of it
Have you
all
seen
is
the
a
movie?
white-faced puppet named Billy.
Hello, Amanda. You know,
I haven't really watched this either.
I know you.
I've seen it, I can't remember much of it.
Acting as a way for the antagonist, John Kramer, to communicate with his victims, Billy gives
I don't
characters
like
the
watching
option to subject themselves to excruciating pain or face certain death. These options are referred to as games, but contrary to popular belief, Billy doesn't ask whether his guests want to play.
Oh my
In
god, I
the
thought he
original
does.
Saw film, Billy never says, "Do you want to play a game?" But
thought that
instead,
was so
"I
funny.
want to play a
That's
game."
I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you...
Well,
It's a simple change, but one that definitely changes the tone.
Hello, Mark. Paul, Amanda, Zach.
I remember that scene, the one in the toilet.
I know, right? It says,
Number
do you want to play a
42.
game?
Kit
But
Kat
people-
bars.
Okay, what is the logo of a Kit Kat bar from your memories? Do you think there's a kit
I haven't had.
and then a hyphen and a cat, or just a Kit Kat with no hyphen?
Last time I saw a Kit Kat bar was a long time ago. I think there's a hyphen.
Me
I
too.
think. Okay, no, it's single. I remember
Give
that.
us a break. Now
There's
there's
no
Mandela
hyphen.
effects in our candy. Kit Kats are a
Yeah,
globally recognized
single,
candy
I
bar
remember.
with 4 wafers, usually covered in chocolate, though some countries go nuts with a ton of different flavors. Looking at you, Japan. What's even more nuts is that people can't agree on how to spell Kit Kat. While it's occasionally stylized as being one word, that's not what we're talking about. Rather, there are those who remember there being a dash between Kit and Kat. Are people just splitting the difference between the one?
Yeah, you're skipping too much.
Desperate for a real
Yeah,
fun
but
now?
that's because some
Well,
of them
if
I
you
don't
flip
think.
through your
Yeah,
Pink
it's pretty
Floyd
long
albums,
video. 50
You don't
things are
remember
there.
Hotel
I don't want to
California?
go through 50 of them,
no,
so I
they're
think
the Pink Floyd, but their 8th studio album
Hotel
is actually
California
called
is
The Dark
famous.
Side of the
Everyone
Moon.
knows that.
Confused? Well, so were we.
Hey, I thought there was a Linkin Park thingy.
Number 39, Bruce Springsteen. Bandana or cap? Born in the
Don't
USA is one of the boss's
Oh yeah, it's a
greatest
very
and most
famous
recognized
song.
hits.
Very old.
People remember it as a cat.
I can't remember. I just remember it's an old
The cover of the
song.
album of the
My
same
dad
name
used to like
famously features Bruce Springsteen's backside in a pair of jeans, with the US flag in front of him. Many fans distinctly remember a bandana stuffed into the back pocket.
Took the
Oh, but it's a
bandana.
cap, like you said. Oh, you have. I did it.
But if you look today, it's a baseball cap instead.
That's because
While
I saw
baseball
this
caps
recently.
certainly fit the
Yeah.
all-American image, so does a bandana.
Yeah.
Hat or no hat? Hat or no hat?
And this Mandela effect
Okay,
catches
I'm going to
even
the
some
Michael
hardcore
Jackson
Springsteen
one,
fans
right?
off
There's
guard.
Michael Jackson one. I'm
Perhaps
just
no,
kidding.
we're not going to tell you he somehow took the man's last name up and away from this reality. It's probably just a misremembered name.
Everyone stand back, please. Stand back. It's all right. Nothing to get worried about.
Number 37, Michael Jackson's White Glove. Speaking of famous musicians' accoutrements, the King of Pop is famous for donning a single white glove. No,
Yeah,
we're not going
he
to tell you
is.
he never did that. Of course he did. But ask yourself, which hand did he wear the glove on? There
That
are
is
some who
quite
swear that he
some- I can't
only
remember
wore the
that.
glove on his right hand. Likewise, there are some who contend it was only worn on Jackson's left.
On the other hand,
They are both wrong. He wore
Are they
one
not-
on both hands at some point, though never at the same time.
So this is what they consider the
That
second
is not a Mandela
generation
effect.
Michael
That's something
Jackson
very
glove.
normal.
It's likely this switching led to confusion among fans. Unless the
down as being an
I
expert.
mean, that is
Been
kind of a Mandela effect.
recognized as being the player who
Because he
broke the
100%
barrier
don't
in
really-
baseball, a sport that was
It's- you
predominantly
can't remember
segregated.
I
which
don't pretend to be an
hand.
expert.
Or, most importantly, feed it after midnight. Predictably,
gonna go
these 3
to this
rules
one.
are broken of the cereal aisle and of many kids' breakfasts. Also some adults. But
Okay.
what
Oh shit, I clicked.
if we told you there isn't any fruit
I
in
think it's a
Fruit Loops?
spelling.
Say
It doesn't spell fruit. It
Well,
spells
obviously there isn't any
double.
in the cereal itself, it's pure sugar. But we're talking about the name.
Did you think
The
it was like
fruit
this, or
in
did you
Fruit
think it was
Loops is
fruits?
spelled with 2 O's, instead of like one of the essential food groups. Naturally,
I don't
this is
know.
to make it a
I
more
never ate
brand
this.
and mirror the Loops part of the name even
You
more.
didn't have the
Yet
one with
plenty of
this
us
and
remember it being
marshmallows and
spelled
stuff?
like any other fruit. Follow your nose.
No.
Jr.'s
I
murder.
had Cocoa Puffs.
Martin Luther King Jr. was killed tonight in Memphis,
Cocoa
Tennessee.
Puffs,
The
not
60s
Puffs.
featured several high-profile assassinations.
Okay.
Are all exact opposite. Rather than hi-hoing to work, the dwarfs are hi-hoing home from work. A number of people online seem to remember the line being a direct riff on the typically cheery phrase. But in reality, Jack actually says, "Wendy, I'm home," using his wife's name.
Oh yeah, I thought it was
Oh
Honey,
no, Pokemon.
Oh, I read
Ash's
this
first
one.
adventure with Pikachu, in both the original series and movie adaptations, is capped off with the appearance of the legendary Pokemon Ho-Oh, a bird of such splendor and gravitas
Oh,
that it is
not this one.
truly
There was another
unmistakable,
Pokemon.
especially with that rainbow motif it likes to flaunt around.
Okay, let's just leave it. You can try to guess since you know Pokemon.
No, I don't know this one.
Unless, of course, you happen to
But the
think it
thing
was
is,
a
I can tell
Moltres.
you one
Yeah,
thing. So
there-
you see the Pikachu, right? Do you remember Pikachu to have a yellow colored tail with a black end?
No, as far as I know, Pikachu doesn't have a black end.
So you have editing
It's
memory
just
because
yellow.
I remembered it as something with a black tail, black end, and most
I
people
mean,
did.
you haven't watched
But
the
it,
recent Detective Pikachu movie with Ryan
I
Reynolds?
did,
Pikachu doesn't
but
have a
somehow
black
I
tail, I
thought it
think.
has a black end in the tail. But then I later on found out that it's a Mandela effect and it's not true. A lot of people think that, but it's
There are
not.
a few fans who recall seeing the Firebird cross Ash's path as opposed to its feathered counterpart. We're not sure if this is just Gen 1 purist talk, but it's hard to mistake Ho-Oh's hairdo. Maybe fans just got it confused with James?
I mean, if you watch the latest Pikachu movie, then you'd remember that Pikachu doesn't have anything black on his tail.
No, only thing is I didn't notice it like that because I always pictured it from the animation as having a black end in the tail. But it turns out
No,
it
but
doesn't.
the latest movie shows the actual version of Pikachu.
Yeah, it does. It does. Even the actual version of Pikachu is always shown like that. It's only the thing is we remember it the other way, and I don't know why. And even in some
I
online
remember
Pokemon games,
the other
alright,
tail.
the character of Pikachu in some online Pokemon games, because people remember it incorrectly as with the black end tail. Some of it shows a black end tail, but it isn't the correct version. Okay, I'm skipping to this one.
Okay.
6. Obi-Wan doesn't say, "May the Force be with you."
Oh,
Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. May the Force be with you has become a slogan for Star Wars over the years, with the date, May the 4th, even being used as a day to celebrate the franchise. Many believe that this phrase was initially spoken by Obi-Wan in the 1977 film, but this is actually not the case. In the film now known as A New Hope, Obi-Wan tells Luke,
"The Force will be with you."
Oh my god.
rather than the now
I thought
universally
it was
known
May the
phrase.
Force be with
It
you.
may seem like an issue of semantics, but for some, this can be seen as an earth-shattering revelation.
Use the Force, Luke.
For those curious, the actual first use of the phrase was by General Dodonna before the Death Star battle in the same film.
Then man your ships, and may the Force be with you.
It is then repeated by Han Solo.
May the Force be with you.
Number 25. How does We Are the Champions end? Sounds like a silly question, right? But you may be surprised to find out that it ends a little differently than you think. The classic rock tune finishes on a high, with Freddie Mercury belting out "No Time for Losers, 'cause we are the champions." But if you find yourself asking, isn't there an "of the world" at the end there? You wouldn't be alone. Although you would also be wrong, because the actual song concludes just like that. However, it seems Freddie also felt like something was missing. as he threw in an Of the World coda during the 1985 Live Aid concert. That could explain why this false ending has become our ingrained recollection of the track.
So that's not Mandela Effect. He
Number
did it.
24, the Air Jordan logo.
Tell me I can no longer fly.
What's the logo?
I want you to.
Why do I think of Nike's thing with...
The logo for this sneaker line is one of the most iconic in history. Some believe or assume the logo silhouette is inspired and based on a slam dunk Michael Jordan pulled off from the free throw line during the NBA dunk contest in 1988.
Well, the crowd lets you know what they think of it. Now we will wait for the judges. A 48 ties, a 49 wins.
However, the truth of the matter is far less exciting. We hate to break it to you, but the inspiration behind the logo isn't from that iconic Jordan dunk. In fact, the silhouette is actually from a Nike photo shoot, where one of the shots captured Jordan jumping in a position we can now see on the logo. At least it's still a cool shot though. Number 23, Macintosh. Gump famously says that his mama always felt, quote, life was like a box of chocolates. It's an iconic... Everyone who's ever heard...
You never know what you're gonna get.
In fact, his mama, and thus our simple hero, said that, quote, life is a box.
I am your father.
Yeah, did you know this one?
Everyone who's...
You know that famous line
Yeah,
that
I know
says,
it.
Luke, I'm your father? He never says Luke. He
Yeah.
just says, no, I'm your father.
ever heard of Star Wars knows this quote. Yet in the actual film, Darth Vader says to Luke, no, I am your father. Countless pop culture references and legions of dedicated Star Wars fans still manage to somehow get this quote wrong.
You killed my father.
No, Buzz. I am your father.
So what's the deal? Have we all just
Story
misquoted it
didn't
because
get it
Luke
wrong.
provides more context?
Yeah.
Or have some of us come to this reality from far, far away? Number 2, starring Sinbad, Shazam!
Shazam.
Quick question, who starred in the 90s movie about a genie?
I am Kazam.
Some of us correctly recall it being NBA star Shaquille O'Neal, who had a sporadic movie
Oh, it's
career
called
throughout
Kazam,
the
is it,
90s.
and not Shazam?
However,
Oh, it's called
others
Shazam.
believe the star of the film in question was the comedian and actor Sinbad, who starred in a number of children's films during that same time period.
Racism! That's what Jesse Jackson was talking about.
Others also believe this non-existent film starring Sinbad was called Shazam rather than Kazam, which they claim is something else entirely. Are people conflating multiple movies in their minds? If only we had a genie to magically solve this mystery. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for
You
occasional
guys
videos
subscribe
or
to
all
our
of them.
channel as
If you're
well.
on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, The Berenstain Bears. You know that series of slightly saccharine children's books about a family of bears and the cartoons based off them? What were they called? The Berenstain Bears are remembered by many as part of their childhoods. However, they aren't the Berenstain Bears at all. They're the Berenstain Bears. The Berenstain Bears. The Berenstain Bears. The easy explanation is that names that end in Steen are
Have you
far
seen
more...
this? Like, have you read these books as a kid?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I have. It's probably a Western thing. All right, so that was Mandela Effect. And I have one more, just one other than all these. Have you played the game Monopoly?
Yeah.
You know that Monopoly man, the dude that's like the picture for Monopoly. Do you remember him with a monocle or without a monocle?
Someone was talking to me about this. I think he doesn't have one.
Yeah, you got it right. But everybody remembers him as with a monocle like that.
Yeah, I remember like sometime back I was talking about this with a friend, and at that time I remembered it as a monocle, but then after that incident I
I've
remember
changed
he
over
doesn't have
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to cut the last part of it. All right, guys. Hope you guys went through the Mandela Effect with us. And you guys can check out the Watch Mojo video if you want to guess all the 50. We just went through it quickly for you guys. And yeah, it's kind of an interesting phenomenon. Like, how do we misremember it like that? It's like, oh, It's kind of interesting to me.
I
It
mean,
blows
no
my
one
mind.
has an identical memory.
No one does, but it's funny how they all misremember it as a correct, like the same thing to the same mistake, you know? So it's a collective
I
loss
mean,
of memory or
it
collective
all started
alternate.
with whoever decided to remember it wrong the first time. And then,
No,
like, they were
think
telling
about it.
others.
All over the world, people misremember to a particular thing. So that is where.
Yeah, so like people who are like born, let's say a few years after the whole thing. Obviously, when they're born, a lot of people would be telling them, no, this is how it is. So
Yeah, but who
obviously people
started
just believe
misremembering
it.
it? Maybe it's the
Yeah,
people who
so
put
it
it
all
out on the big
depends on who
media
started.
platforms, if they misremember, and then it just could be something like that. But it still kind of blows my mind because that's very unlikely. So if any of you have any proper explanations, scientific explanations for the Mandela effect, you guys can leave it in the comments below. Having said that, this is the end of the
I
video.
think it's psychological, not science. Yeah, psychology is
Psychological
part of
is
science.
scientific. So anyway,
Yeah.
hope you guys had a lovely day and hope you guys are taking good care of yourselves and one another. Be kind to one another. Take care and bye.
Bye.